Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
I'm excited because, A, I have no musical talent. I've discovered a new office complex back here off of Gibraltar Avenue.
Welcome.
And we're here with Sophia Hardesty, who is the owner, the founder of Naptown Sings and Plays. And I've heard about this. I knew about you when you were on West Street in that little tiny sliver of a store.
Yeah.
And I am excited to learn about it. And I think I said before we started recording, me as an 8-year-old, I was like, music is boring. I want to go play ball. I want to go ride my bike or anything like that. Yet me as a 60-year-old going like, Mom, you really should have insisted.
Mm-hmm.
And I so regret that my mother never insisted to get music. So anybody that's listening to this, a note to your 60-year-old self, you're going to regret if you don't get into music.
I love that. I love that.
But you essentially are a complete music school, right?
Yes, we are.
How did we start this whole thing?
Well, it was 12 years ago. I was studying music education
Where?
at University of Maryland.
Okay.
And I also have a degree in voice there and singing. And a friend of mine said, "Hey, you want to come teach at my music studio?" And I said, "Oh, I can't teach music." And he goes, "You have a degree in singing. Of course you can teach me. And you're studying music education. What do you mean you can't teach music?" So I said, "All right, yeah, I'll do it." And I had this idea for a pop kids glee club. There's a lot of traditional choirs, but as a kid, I really wanted to sing pop music. I didn't want to sing classical. I have a degree in opera, and I wanted to give that opportunity to kids around here. They don't have, if they want to do classical singing, they absolutely can. There's plenty of options, but I wanted an option for more modern music. So I started teaching private lessons, and then I started a glee club. Had no clue how to market anything. I was putting up signs in Potbelly and hoping people would, pull off the little tag and join my glee club. And so I had almost no students for about a year. I had 2 students. And then word got out, word of mouth. And the next year I had a full class of 12. And then a few months later, I had 2 classes of 12 students. And it picked up from there to the point where the friend I was renting the space from said, "Hey, you're like taking up all the space in my music school. Go start your own.
Get out."
Get out. So I rented a little 350 square foot room off of West Street. It's now Maureen Porto's studio. She's a photographer. And I stuffed 20 kids per glee club in there. And since I had a space, I said, well, I might as well just start a music school now.
I've got to think, though, I mean, that's very smart on your part that to get with the more modern, more pop type of a music, okay? Because that's what kids are into. I mean, I haven't seen one kid in Annapolis with his Walkman there. I'm showing how old I am, but with the AirPods on or something like that, jamming out the Mozart.
Right.
Okay. And not that Mozart's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that. I mean, you said you've got a degree in opera, and I personally don't like opera because I get confused with the subtitle or the super titles and what's going on in the foreign language and explaining that. My brain doesn't work that way.
Fair enough.
But when you're into modern, I mean, I'm into modern music. I'm into 80s music. I'm into 70s music. And that resonates a little bit more. And that's just one of the bridges or the doors that you've got to knock down to get into hey, Timmy, I'd like to teach you how to learn to play classical violin. Is it like, oh gosh, well, I'd like to learn how to play rock violin.
Right.
Is a totally different type of a situation.
It is.
That's why. So, I mean, you personally do voice.
Mm-hmm.
But here within Naptown Sings and Plays, I mean, you've got all instruments as well. And I mean, you've got different types of voice. I mean, you've got, I guess, I'm assuming soloists and chorus. And
Oh, yeah. I mean, we do everything. So when I started my music school, when it actually became a full-blown thing, I saw a baby music class. And it was the cutest thing I had ever seen in my life. And I said, well, might as well do baby music classes. And then where are the babies going to go after that? Might as well do toddler and preschool music classes. And then I realized when I made my website, my goal was to create lovers of the arts and show kids how to love and appreciate music. And to do that, there really has to be a system in place where if they start as babies, they have a place to go in music, to grow up in music from when they come in as babies all the way up through high school, all the way up through adulthood. We have our pop glee program, which starts at age 4, and eventually you can audition for upper level glee clubs that performs all over Annapolis. We do the Christmas tree lighting, First Sunday, Eastport Rockin'. I mean,
oh my gosh, you get the tow truck stage?
Tow truck. Oh, yeah, that's our favorite. It actually like bounces when we sing. The kids are like, "Oh, what is this?"
No, I love that tow truck. It's so funny. It's like, what's the tow truck here for? That's the stage. And people are like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's
yeah." It felt like a bigger one this year, actually. Like we actually had room to spread out a little bit. I don't know if they got a bigger truck bed or what. So the point is, they always have a place. You always have a place to go in music here. We help students figure out their interests. If they want to learn classical, we've got that. We've got classical teachers. If they want to learn pop, we've got that. If maybe they want to learn jazz and they don't know anything about it, and that's up to our teachers to show them what jazz music is. And if they like it, they can pursue it. If not, they can continue with whatever track they want. We have musical theater singers, we have pop singers, we have classical singers, like I said. We do it all. We even have rock singers.
Again, that you're exposing these kids to the various different genres and stuff that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, when my kid ultimately was trying to figure out when he was going to college, was trying to figure out where he wanted to go. He had no idea what he wanted to do. I said, go to AACC. Maybe you'll find something that'll jazz you.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately he did. And he's on his own and everything else. And I think that's the same way with music too, because you don't necessarily know. I mean, you really absorb what your parents are listening to in the household as a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you may develop a love for that time period, that genre or whatnot. But, to be exposed to it. I remember one time I was at Warped Tour and I ran into my own son who didn't realize I was there. I didn't realize he was there. And we were in front of some Screamo band.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me going like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not buying, trust me, I'm not buying their t-shirts and their albums. I don't really like them, but I can see the value. I can see the talent behind it. And I just want to be exposed to it and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
I have been now. I particularly don't like this one.
Right.
But I'm going to move on to a different stage. And it was sort of an aha moment for him to sit there and say, wow, okay, here's this old fart sitting down here and he's like at least giving it a shot.
Right.
So I think it's wonderful that you're really exposing it. I mean, you turn around and kids, hey, maybe you might like jazz. Come check this out.
Yeah. One of our teachers is actually named after Miles Davis. His name is Miles. So I gave him a class for 4 to 6-year-olds to teach. And the first lesson he taught was a Miles Davis song and just had the kids drumming to like this really offbeat Miles Davis song. And it blew my mind. It's like, that is exactly what I want. You love this song because you're named after this performer and you showed it to the kids and they had a blast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's you talked about your teachers and stuff like that. I mean, so it's obviously way more than you.
Yeah.
Because then this would be an opera school.
Right. Well, actually, I teach pop now.
But I mean, tell me about are these like visiting, like in college, they got the visiting fellows that come in and hang out for a while and then go on to something else? I know that even our own symphonies and operas and stuff like they bring people in for a residency, if you will, and then leave. Is that what it is? Or do you have actually people that are here throughout the year?
Every single one of our teachers is also a professional musician in some way.
That's huge.
Yeah. And so I hire them for 2 reasons. One, they have to be really good with kids. They have to love music, obviously, and be able to inspire that in kids. But they also have to be experts in whatever field they're in. So nobody is really full-time here. They all work part-time for me and then work part-time as musicians. Some of them are opera singers. Some of them are like actors and actresses. Some of them are singer-songwriters. We have a whole bunch of singer-songwriters. One of them tours with Jackson Dean all year and teaches virtually from like backstage.
That's kind of wild.
It's pretty wild. My son's actually taking virtual lessons with him because he's I don't know, he's not an in-person person. He wants to be on the screen. So he takes virtual lessons with my teacher, Trevor. And it'll be like, what city are you in today, Trevor? Oh, Nashville? Okay, cool. What festival are you playing? But, this is something that they love, and it supplements their income as working musicians as well. So it's kind of
That's
win-win
wild.
for everybody.
And again, the virtual thing is pretty impressive because it's certainly one thing that we learned out of COVID is that we can do stuff virtually. Maybe it isn't. And I know the schools have learned that there are some kids that thrive on that type of learning as opposed to in classroom with all the distractions and everything else that's going on there. So that's really neat that you do offer that.
We do. Most people are in person at this point, but I recognize in my own son, who's here all the time, that he actually just prefers to open up the laptop, have his lesson, and then go on with his day. And it's not any different. It's not any different than if he was here, except we don't have to drive.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, okay, so we've got private classes in all the different elements of music. And there was a word that I was looking for that totally escaped my mind, but it was, so we've got private lessons. We've got both instrumental and vocal.
Yes.
And are there group lessons? Obviously, or I guess that's more group practices if you get into the glee club or into the.
Yeah. So we have group lessons. All of the early music is group. And then we have a pre-instruments class for 4 to 6-year-olds where they can try out different instruments, and a mixed instruments for 6 to 8-year-olds with a little more technique involved where they try it out. So they can try out, a little bit of singing, a little bit of piano, a little bit of ukulele, a little bit of drumming. So then when they turn 8 or 9, they can decide what instrument they want to actually go into. So the group classes are more for the younger kids, except for the glee clubs, which go all the way up to high school in a group format.
Again, it makes a little bit more sense with them because you're in a group, you're with other people that are, the peer pressure thing going on. Everybody likes it, they're into it, and you're exposed to a bunch of different things. I've got my own thought here, but like when you're talking to the 4 to 6-year and you said they're all in the group and let them try out all the different instruments, what's their go-to instrument? Is there one?
It depends. Usually it's the ukulele or the piano.
Really?
Yeah.
I totally would have gone with drums or guitar.
Oh, well, we don't do guitar for that age, but ukulele can transfer to guitar.
Okay.
Like the guitar, so that makes sense. But there's definitely drummers too, but I feel like probably the most end up switching to piano lessons afterward, just because it's a standard.
And that's what I regret.
Instrument.
My mom tried to do it for a little bit. I wasn't very good at it. She didn't insist that I try. I got frustrated very quickly, and we both gave up on me.
Right.
And I just sit there, I'll go to a party or something like that. I'll sit there, or maybe I can go to Middleton Tavern and like get a job upstairs like Larry Lay had for years to sit there and play Larry and I go way back, but it's,
he's the best.
To sit there and just to be able to have that talent. And it is something that will last you a lifetime. This is not something that you're, okay, we're going to get Naptown Sings and Plays, and then we're going to forget about it when we go to high school.
Right.
Or we're going to forget about it when we go to college. You may not use it. You may not be a professional musician.
Right.
But you certainly have that talent and that capability to do it, which is, it's huge.
And that's exactly our goal. Like, that's great. We do have students who are going to college right now to be songwriters and performers, which of course is a goal for anyone who owns a music school if they want to pursue it. But the broader thing is that when there's live music in downtown Annapolis, hopefully it'll be our students that are out there supporting those musicians.
True.
Or we did a karaoke night in my neighborhood a couple nights ago. Not karaoke, an open mic in my neighborhood. And all the neighbors came down with their guitars. One dad was playing guitar while their kid was singing. And I felt like that's what it was all about. We all just communed together and made music. And it was all different skill levels. And it was just fun. Music is a part of our community.
It really is. And Annapolis has a very, very robust music scene.
It does.
And I talked to most artists that come through Ram's Head, and one thing that's a real commonality that music does is it breaks down every barrier that there is.
Yeah.
You come in here and you're experiencing music, whether it be at Ram's Head or whether it's at Naptown Sings and Plays or, out at an open mic night or a karaoke night or whatever it is. It seems that the blacks, the whites, the guys, the girls, the gay, the straight, it all fades away.
Yeah.
We're all here experiencing an event together. And that's what binds us. And we
Yeah.
really need to be a lot more bound together with what binds us than what separates us
Right.
in this world. I'm looking at the sign in your window, and you've got
Uh-huh.
Naptown Sings and Plays, and we've covered a little bit of the sings, but
Yeah.
tell me about plays.
Well, I mean, so some people get confused. They're like, "Oh, like, do you do plays?"
Are you a daycare center? Or are you,
Yeah, right,
you know?
exactly. And I say, no, no, actually, like, plays instruments. Unfortunately, the sings came first because I'm a singer. And then when I realized it was more than that, I had to add an extra phrase to it.
It's so funny that
Yeah,
that didn't dawn on me. I thought that it was just because I know that you do offer other programs besides that. I mean, you've got camps and stuff like that, and I
we
thought that
do.
that's sort of tied into that.
That is true. I mean, if you come to a music garden class for the babies and toddlers on a Saturday morning, it's all play. It's all just music through play. So, there could be a lot of like plays on words with it.
I see what you
But
did there.
I see what I did there. But really, it started as Naptown Sings, and then we became more than just singing. So I had to add something else to it.
Well, hopefully you don't do acrobatics, and it's going to be too long.
Actually, right down
Naptown
the
Sings
street,
and
the
Plays and
Newman does some acrobatics. So,
But I mean, what are the other things that you do have here? I mean, obviously, okay, so we know that we've got, if if you want to get your child into music, this is a place to come.
yeah.
But I did notice on the website, I mean, that you've got like birthday parties and camps and stuff. And
Yeah.
is that strictly for your students, or that's pretty much anybody?
Anybody. We had 10 weeks of summer camps. They were all pretty much sold out this year. So we had over 300 students come in, and some of them were trying music for the first time. And we do everything in our summer camps. They do world drumming, ukulele, glee club, talent show, music exploration, piano. We try and just get their hands on as many things as possible in the summer camp to see which one sticks, kind of like our early music.
Mhm.
We also do open mics here. So that's open to anybody. We do them quarterly, and that's a free event where you can just come in and make
Yeah.
music. We've literally had 1-year-olds up on the stage singing ABC or Twinkle Twinkle or just playing a little
And that's
piano.
the same song. You can't fool me.
True. There's just one note different.
Is there a different note?
Well, it's like the LMNOP versus the little star, how I wonder what you are. There's a slightly different rhythm, but otherwise it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
It's funny. There was, and I'd drawn a blank on the name that they came in. It was
Yeah.
World Artist Experience brought them in,
Uh-huh.
and it was called like the Junkyard Band, and they were from Brazil, I think. And what happened is there was some development, and they essentially moved all the trash out of this area that they were doing, and they piled up in this little village.
Mm-hmm.
And the people loved music.
Yeah.
And what they did is they went and they got like the rusty coffee can, and they figured out how to make it's like the old cigar box drum or guitar. And
Yeah.
they went and they created their own instruments, and they created their own symphony. And they've subsequently gone into touring. It was just absolutely fabulous to
So
look and
cool.
to see what these folks are able to do, and how music really does move people to do so,
Yeah.
do wild things there. We talked about your background, but, and I've got to think, I mean, you've got the passion for opera, obviously, but just music in general.
Mhm.
And I mean, you are an educator.
Yeah.
Maybe not have the master's in education or
I
whatever.
actually do.
Oh, okay. Well, there you very
I
well
do.
done, Sophia.
Yeah.
But I've got to think that what you're doing right now has got to be so rewarding to you because, okay, you're teaching your passion. Okay. It's not like, okay, I've got my master's in education and I got a job at AACPS, and not dissing on AACPS, but okay, here you're teaching second grade.
Right.
Okay. I guess I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Or okay, now you're going to teach like 8th grade math,
Mhm.
algebra. Okay. Yeah. But you're teaching your passion,
Yeah.
which has got to be huge.
It's a dream come true. When I started this, I actually was teaching elementary music, which I loved. And eventually I had to choose. I couldn't do both. And this just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And even though being a business owner is hard,
It sucks.
yeah, it's so hard. I feel like I have to pinch myself. There's this thing that I do after a really fulfilling night. Before I close the back door and leave the studio, I take a picture of the back room, all lit up with its colors. And it doesn't look different, except maybe the colors of the lights are different every day. But it's just a reminder to myself that this is something that I created and people believed in it. And so I never take that for granted.
Well, it begs the question, though, is I mean, and there, as you mentioned, there are many opportunities to pursue different music. I mean, I know the symphony has the Orion Orchestra, which I think is a little bit higher end,
Mhm.
talented thing. They've got the Chesapeake Youth Symphony Academy, I think, if I've got the
Mhm.
initials correctly. And there's a number of different things, but this, I know it didn't exist when I was little, but
Yeah.
why, you're why didn't this exist before you rolled around here?
Because there's always been a taboo thing that you can't study pop music, and that's changing. There's college majors where you can study pop music now, but that didn't exist when I went to college. Like, there was always this stigma that you have to study the proper arts or the
The classics.
classical arts, but you still need similar techniques for the more popular arts too. And you still have to become a master at your craft if it's something you want to do. So it just made me wonder why there weren't outlets for what kids wanted to study. I felt like the industry needed to be monitored or modernized, and it is. The School of Rocks are out there now too, and this is becoming a more common thing. But I know there's a lot of towns. People say, "Can you please open one in my town? This doesn't exist." And I say, "Well, I'm only one person. I wish."
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean, it was a need. There was a need to modernize music education from the old stigma that
Well,
it was.
well, then that begs another question I've got for you. I remember one time a while ago, it was a weekend that totally should have exploded my mind. But my
Mhm.
girlfriend and I went to a show at Ram's Head, and it was like an oldies, like I want to say, like in maybe an '80s band that was in there or something like that.
Right.
We did went over to an event at Homestead Gardens, and I think Dan Haas and his trio
Mhm.
was playing back then. And then we went into DC to Club Fur
Oh.
at the time, and there was this EDM guy named BT
Mhm.
that was playing. And I mean, so I mean, we've gone from all sorts of crazy genres.
Yeah. What a
My
fun
head
day.
literally should have exploded. But
Yeah.
his music, and I made fun of it. But I mean, again, I see the thing. But I mean, he's playing a MacBook.
Right.
And and he's getting the beats down and mixing and everything else. It was entertaining, but I mean, is that music?
I think so.
Is that something that may consider embracing as you come through here? We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've actually like had teachers that say, "Hey, I can teach electronic music." You still have to sync everything. Yeah, like people say it's easier. I don't know. I've never done it.
Mhm.
But there's a reason there's famous DJs and there's not famous DJs. The ones who know how to do that. It is a
It's a
skill
talent, it's a
and it's an
skill.
art. Pretty Lights is one of my favorite ones. He likes to mix like samples of older music and then put it to different beats. And I just think that's so cool. And another one is Stick Figure, where he takes modern reggae music and puts all these sounds and beat drops to it. And it is an art to make you feel so immersed in music that like you lose yourself. And that's what these electronic bands do. Like, I mean, it's music, but it's like more on the production side of music, which
Sure,
is
that makes sense.
again a skill,
And I do
a
like
skill and an art.
I do like mixing the genres too. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a band called the Hooters out of Philadelphia that just
Mhm.
good friends of mine for years and years, and they go on tour in Europe in the summer, and often they'll tour with like the Vienna Philharmonic.
Yeah.
And so they'll play this, ska, reggae, rock, blend it with this full symphony.
Right.
And it's so cool when that works out. And you sit there and you're looking at like, the symphony comes up and with the violins and
Yeah. Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're hearing like this boom, this drum and this different beat, and it's like it's awesome.
I
I mean, so
love it.
much can be done with music.
Right. And that's the age that we're at now. You can absolutely mix four genres together and get some really cool music. And, have different beats and different lines and different like melodies. It's a day and age where, experimentation can go as far as you want it to go.
Right. But you got to be careful not to steal somebody's beat because they'll sue you down the.
That's very true.
I always joke and say that there are only I mean, it's a big number, but there's a finite amount of ways that you can arrange
Mhm.
music, and at some point, somewhere in time, there is
gonna
going to be
overlap.
some overlap that's going to be pretty quick there.
Yeah,
Does every kid have talent?
I think so. There's something down there. I think what I see more is whether there's a will.
That was my case. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many adults that are like, "I can't sing," And I'm like, I bet you can. You just were never given the tools. We all have an inherent beat in us. It's part of human nature. And most of us have an inherent melody unless we're truly, truly tone deaf. But most people who say they're tone deaf aren't.
Yeah.
They just need to train their ear.
Anything. I mean, any job. I mean, if you want to be a mechanic, you go and you train to be a mechanic and you learn how to do it. I mean, can I fix the engine on your car? No, I cannot.
Yeah.
And I think probably again with music, it's the same thing. I mean, and you've got to put the time in to do it, the time and the effort into it.
Yeah. And I think that kids are drawn to certain things. My son, he's picking up the ukulele like it's nothing. My daughter never stops singing. And she's got a really acute sense of pitch like I did growing up. And she's gravitated a lot towards singing lately, even though she grew up in our music garden program. She just wants to sing nonstop. So that's why we provide that opportunity for kids to kind of figure out for themselves what they're gravitating to instead of saying, I'm just going to put you in piano lessons. I'm just going to put you in ukulele. They can figure it out, which is cool.
It does. I mean, because there's got to be coolness. I mean, it's cool to play drums. I like this. I really, maybe I take my frustrations out. I mean, much to the chagrin of every parent that is a parent of a drummer with all the noise that goes on. But, and others, a guitar and stuff like that. I was, I was talking to the Steep Canyon Rangers yesterday, and they tour with Steve Martin, and I asked whether he had the banjo chops that everyone says he does. And I said, oh my God, yeah, he comes out, he pulls it out. There's no warm up. There's nothing. He just sits there and he just goes and we can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's somebody that has really honed his skill over the years. I mean, he wasn't born a banjo player, for crying out loud.
Right. Again, it goes with the will. Like, how much are you willing to practice to hone the skills that you have? My husband is a perfect example. He's the lead singer of the Bumpin' Uglies. They tour nationally. When I met him, that boy could not sing high notes. Like, he could not. He was flat every time. And then...
Did you whip him into shape?
No, it was not me. I mean, like, I give him pointers, but I cannot take credit. It was him, like, determined to be better than he was. And, we didn't talk for a couple of years, and I came back and worked at Middleton's again, is where we met. And all of a sudden, he had these beautiful high notes, and I was like, where did you get that from?
So that's what attracted you to him. He was finally able to sing the high notes.
He was finally able to sing the high notes, and I was like, oh, I like that. Guess I liked more than that, but
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So, I mean, constantly, well, I mean, and that's it. I mean, it's a lifelong skill. I mean, you're constantly improving to get better and better. And I mean, it could just be just one little thing is off. You just need to get over that hump
Right. And it's really just a matter of tweaking. When there's someone who has an ear that can teach you to have that same ear or that same skill, it happens. It can happen fast. It can happen slow. It depends on the person. But when you're given the right tools to be able to thrive, it makes a huge difference.
Now, how long have you guys been open?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Any superstars yet? Any Taylor Swifts come out of here?
Well, I want you to check out Madeline White. She was my very first student, and she is now a singer-songwriter.
Awesome.
You can check her out on Spotify. She's pursuing music right now, and she's absolutely incredible.
Madeline White?
Madeline White. She's local. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
So happy because her music, not only like her voice was always so good, but her songwriting and the production that she puts with her music is incredible too.
How long has she been out of here?
She just started pursuing it in the past few years. Yeah.
So she's been out of here.
Oh, she's been she's 20. So
when did she age out of Naptown Sings?
She aged out of Naptown Sings sometime in her teens. She actually teaches for me now. She came back and she does my social media.
So you did not, I mean, you witnessed her for a period of time.
Oh, she's my pride and joy. She knows
and then
it.
all of a sudden there was a gap when she was out of here and going to school or whatever she was doing and honing her thing. And now you get to see that it all started here.
Yeah, and also just seeing like the passion that she has and these products that she's putting out, it's really something.
I'm writing that down. Madeline White.
Madeline White. Madeline, I'm giving you a shout out.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, to all the parents that are listening, to all the kids that are listening, get into music and investigate it. This is a lifelong skill. I mean, they say like some sports, I mean, like tennis, they say is a lifelong skill, or golf or something like that.
Yeah.
No different here. Come out and check out Naptown Sings and Plays. Their website is naptownsings.com. which is very simple. And they're right on Gibraltar Avenue, which is off of Moreland Parkway. So you can get in off of West Street or Admiral Drive. And they've got a great studio here. And what I love about it is that just that you're able to come in and really see if this is something that moves you.
Mhm.
And there are so many different ways to move. I mean, as opposed to mom saying, you're going to play piano or you're going to play, the violin or whatever it may be. To be able to sit there and say, yeah, I like the drums. I like the guitar. I like the ukulele. I like, a piano. And to develop your own skill. And whether you take that professionally like Madeline does,
Mhm.
or whether you just take it as a skill that makes you a wholer, that's a new word I'm going to make up, a more whole person.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to come with you for all the rest of your life. So in your classes, are you in like a semester kind of a basis thing?
We're both. Most of our programs are membership, so you can just sign up whenever.
Mhm.
And then our glee clubs run by semester. And so do our mixed instruments class and our songwriting class. That's per semester too, because we do a recording at the end and you get a professional recording of your songs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And when do we enroll for these classes?
We're enrolling now.
Okay.
Yeah, so just go to our website. Again, most of them you can just enroll as you go. So you can literally sign up for tomorrow if you want. And then our glee clubs, if you're listening to this in the fall, we're registering for fall. If not, we'll have another session in the wintertime.
Fantastic. Yeah, Sophia, thank you for thinking of this and bringing this to Annapolis. And congratulations on 12 years. Very few people make it past 5.
Yeah,
And
it's wild.
It's great to sit there and see
Yeah.
that you were like doing borrowing somebody's space and then got your own little space. And then now you're into a much bigger space. So
Yeah.
the demand is there, and obviously the success is there. So congratulations on that.
Thank
Again,
you.
naptownsings.com. And the address is it's
141 Gibraltar Avenue,
Gibraltar Avenue.
right
So-
off of West Street.
And unlike in downtown Annapolis, plenty of free parking.
Tons of parking. Don't even have to worry about it.
You don't need an app. You don't need any of that stuff.
We
Just
even
come
have
on.
parking in the back, so you never run out.
But thank you so much and congratulations. Again, naptownsings.com. Check it out.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.